G'day everyone, we are sitting in a bar here in Jomtien, and guess who we have with me here? The old mate Paulie. How are you, Paulie?
Oh, pretty good, brother, pretty good.
So, since the last time you guys saw Paul on our freedom video where I went down to catch up with Paul in Phuket, he has since sailed his vessel down to Malaysia.
Yep, down to Langkawi.
Down to Langkawi. Now, what's the attraction down there, Paulie, in Langkawi?
It's just a good place to sit out the rainy season. Gonna have some big schools coming through, so marinas are good down there. They're like, I don't know, half the price, maybe less than Phuket. Phuket is hideously expensive for the marinas, so yeah, it's pretty good down there.
So it's all about value, isn't it?
Well, the real bonus is that Langkawi is a duty-free zone, so your beer costs pennies. You know, you can get a couple of 350 Carlsberg in the bar, maybe $1.50 each.
Nice.
Nice, very nice.
Which is great information for you guys, because Paul has been trying to sell me Malaysia for a long time. I'm up here in Thailand, he's like, Jeff, you got to come down to Malaysia, and we're going to do that actually before he leaves. I want to get down there and we will visit Paul again, and we'll put him to the test.
Put the beer to the test, brother.
Put the beer to the, well, we always put the beer to the test. It doesn't take us much to do that, but just some context and some history between myself and Paul is I've known Paul since, when was it? 94. We were
95, 94.
Yeah, so we've been buddies forever, and I remember way back then, even then, we were young bucks. We were 25, I believe, when we first met around there.
Yeah, give or take.
Yeah, we were talking about retiring in Thailand even back then.
Yeah, we were.
Excuse the sound, guys.
I think that one got blown out, brother.
Yeah. So yeah, since we first met, we were both around 25 years of age. We sat around many times, having a beer, of course, talking about how we're going to retire, where we're going to go. And I think it would be fair to say that Paul's a bit like me in the sense that we probably don't like to live the normal, run-of-the-mill.
Normal, boring. I did that for a while. It just doesn't pay there. It doesn't work very well, for me anyway.
Yeah.
Don't enjoy it.
So Paul, he's been fortunate, because he's been kind of semi-retired for a long time now, haven't you? Six years, so maybe 50?
6 years, yeah. Since that beautiful COVID scam hit.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And of course, I remember back then the plan was that Paulie was going to head up to. You're going to head up to...
Well, up to here, and then maybe over to the Med, but the whole...
COVID kicked in.
COVID kind of kiboshed that one.
Yeah.
Delayed everything.
And then what happened then is when I was made redundant the first time, I spent some time with Paulie on the yacht, and we sailed around the Whitsundays for a good time, so...
Yeah, that was fun.
And then after that, where did you go?
I did the coast of Queensland up and down a couple of times, spent some time in Manly and Brisbane, which is actually pretty nice.
Yeah.
But then as soon as weather was okay, right time of year, and the whole COVID bullshit restrictions, yeah, we left, went up to Eastern Indo, so came into a place called Twal, and then come through the southern chain, through middle of nowhere, dude. It was like little fishing villages and nothing for, 700, 800, 900 miles, nautical miles, couple of thousand Ks, through Alor, Flores, Sumbawa, and Lombok, Bali, Borneo, Batam, Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, back to Malaysia.
And this is the beauty of having a yacht for those who are privileged enough to get the opportunity. And I think we've always also spoke about finding those hidden little gems, off the bloody traps, tourist trap areas that are, livable, or where you can live off the grid, or, just check out of the West.
They're pretty hard to find. It's because it's got to have, being a Westerner, you still want that little bit of
quality of life and luxury, should I say.
Yes.
You know, I've been to some beautiful places in Indo, but you wouldn't want to live there, man. It's very, very simple, very basic.
Yes.
For me anyway, some
Yes.
people maybe. There's places where there's really is nothing, dude, and it's like beautiful, stunning reefs, diving, swimming, but there's no real infrastructure there.
And of course, Paul had lived in Thailand way before we even met, and maybe you could tell us a little about when that was, what you were doing, and how has Thailand changed in that time?
Oh, that's originally first time was 1990.
How old were you?
22, long time ago. That was more around this, not Pattaya, but Koh Tao, Koh Phangan, Koh Samui, Koh Chang. And back then there was very little, dude. It was, you know, they had the Koh Phangan full moon party.
Yeah.
You might see 1,000 people there if you're lucky.
Yeah.
But it was awesome, man. There was beach huts costing, I mean, my weekly bill went, you know, food, beach hut, ganja, beer, ganja, food. And you have a weekly bill of like, with everything, for like 30 pounds sterling.
Yeah.
It was cheap, and it was relaxed, it was mellow. Yeah, the ganja with them was not legal, but you could sit down in any bar, and one of the local coppers would be there keeping an eye on things. No one cared.
Yeah.
But there was none of those 2-week tourists in the areas that I was anyway.
Yeah.
You know, the Thai would still be happening. Phuket had a couple, but not. It wasn't overrun.
And what about now? What's your opinion, especially on Phuket, because we spent some time
Yeah,
there?
well, I was back in Phuket for 2000 for a year.
Yeah.
Just working as a diving instructor there, and Phuket was beautiful back then. I could drive from Nai Han all the way up to Kamla, you know, in 40 minutes, and there was no traffic. It was like amazing. If we come out of Nai Han, after you go past the initial bars, there was just fields, dude. Like between there and Shillong, you may see 2 restaurants and nothing.
Yeah.
No massage parlors, no hotels, nothing.
Yeah.
And it was just like really chilled, really beautiful. But now, especially Phuket, I can't even get Shillong in 45 minutes in a car because the traffic is just insane. Nai Han Beach, where you would have had 100 people, now has 5,000. It's massive change.
And that was the first thing that I noticed, and the comment that I made a while ago was that it reminded me of Bangkok. Actually, the traffic was equivalent to Bangkok, which isn't any fun if you want to get in and
It's
out.
just like Bali now, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, the traffic is like in Bali. It's just insane, especially around that, you know, Seminyak area.
Yeah.
And moving south and north from the airport. It's it's not so good.
Yeah. So, tell us, how are you able to, without digging deep into your financial world, we all want to talk about money because the boys want to know how it can be done, and I'm really interested in also exploring how even semi-retired or someone who wants to work on a DTV visa, which is, you know, I'm doing a little bit of both. I'm kind of semi-retired, but I am working on a DTV, and it's totally possible, and I will do a whole video series on that, guys. But it'd be nice to hear from Paulie how he managed to get where he's got. From knowing Paul for as long as I've known you, you've always been a hard worker, a diligent person who has always strived to just do things on his own terms and become independently wealthy through his own businesses.
Well,
So maybe we could expand on
I think throw in with that a massive amount of luck. It was, you know, buying a place in England before a boom, selling it
Yep.
when the boom was peaked, having a 3-to-1 exchange rate coming from the UK to Australia
Yep.
with some healthy profit from the property, being able to buy a house there.
Yep.
So, you know, and then setting up multiple businesses.
Yeah.
You know, at one point I was working 100 hours a week for probably almost 2 years.
Yep.
And that's not fun. That was
Yeah.
Sounds like
damaging.
Sounds like what I'm doing now. Well, I'm doing at least 50 hours, and I, for me, it's about building a business, and I think at first you've got to do that. So I am trying to cut my production time down.
Yeah.
And so basically, real estate is what kicked you off. Just clever real estate
It was
decisions.
always real estate. Rather than having my own business, I never did super in Australia because it's like it's a waste of money, man. It's just like you're stealing your money most of the time. So I just invested in property.
And a lot of people are going to have some things to say about that in terms of super. I get it. A lot of people are coming in, and here's the thing. I interview another guy, Warren, who you're going to hear about, and he's all reliant on his stock portfolio, which is interesting because, of course, he's really nervous, and especially
at the moment,
all it takes is a little war to kick things off, and then all of a sudden your stocks and your payouts start reducing. So he was telling me he was concerned because he's not getting as much of his dividend payouts or whatever, however that works. But I've never, I've always been very reluctant to go in on stocks and bonds. And real estate and cryptos is kind of where I'm at.
I never really did the stocks, just minimal amounts, but the real estate was the one that, because you can rent them out, you've got appreciation and value.
And I think nothing's changed in terms of real estate now in the West. I won't even talk about it here because I just think
this is a different world for real estate.
Real estate in Thailand to me seems like a very risky proposition. There's no gains.
A lot of time there's no gains.
There's no gain in a country.
So if you're going to live in there, live in the place, then you get somewhere to live. But a lot of the time there's no appreciation of value. No. And in real terms with inflation, you're actually losing money.
Yeah, you are. In the short period of time that I've been here, I'm kind of leaning more towards I would probably rent forever because
I would too.
I'm not prepared to throw that sort of money away.
But someone told me you can have a condo here which you can own 100%.
Condos, yes, but again, to me it's
especially here they're a dime a dozen, dude. They're building them like
everywhere.
There's no tomorrow. It's insane.
Yeah, there's one just over here, and then these girls are really noisy over here, guys. Shall we go over there and tell them to pipe it down? But you could see there's a massive complex over there, but they're very fired up at this time of night, aren't they?
Yeah.
Now, of course, we're in a chilled area of Jomtien here, and I think both Paul and I kind of agree on the whole situation in Pattaya. What do you think, Paul?
No.
Here's some opinions, all right, guys? Not everyone's going.
I'm just not a big fan. It's massively overcrowded. There's a large amount of, shall we say, interesting people there, and some very strange people there. It's not my cup of tea. It's just too manic. It's just too much going on there, and it's just too busy. And at times, it's a little bit dodgy.
All right, we're going to have to cut here.
Yeah. You're done, dude.
All right, so we've had to move locations because these guys started to bang on with the music and the copyright's a real issue. So apologies about the traffic here, guys. Paul is leaving tomorrow, so time is of the essence.
It is indeed.
Back to Malaysia.
Back to Langkawi, Malaysia, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, he only here for Songkran,
Yeah, just a blow in.
Yeah, he's just a blow in. That's how you want to be, right? Let's go back to Pattaya. You were saying not your cup of tea.
No, not really. It's just too manic.
Yeah.
Too many strange, interesting people.
Yes.
Being polite.
Yes, and I would probably have to agree with you. For me, Pattaya is definitely a place for celebrating or visiting, but me personally, I couldn't live there.
No, it's an acquired taste, shall we say.
Yeah, for sure. Now, on that note, what is your favourite place, or have you got a couple of favourite places in Thailand? We'll start with Thailand.
Thailand, I always still partial to Nai Han Beach in Phuket. A little bit more overrun now than it was.
Yes.
It used to be very deserted, but still it's a beautiful beach, great swimming. So I think that's probably got to be up there.
Yep.
I know there's probably trash now. Koh Tao used to be very nice.
Yep.
And Koh Chang.
Yes.
But when I was there, Koh Chang, there was nothing, man. I imagine now it's very, very different.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, what are your intentions for retirement? Now, obviously you're not going to be on the boat for the rest of your life, and I know how long is a piece of string, but...
That is the $64 million question. Haven't got a clue, dude, to be honest.
Yeah.
Don't know, just...
Typical nomad here attitude.
Figure out at some point, and I'm sure it will come to light.
Yeah. No, I understand. I feel pretty much the same. I mean, I do have a sort of an idea of what I want to do, but I didn't come over here with any big plans or, you know, preconceived notions about the place.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I keep seeing these videos pop up about these kids complaining about how they get ripped off in the bar scene and all that. And it's almost like people have this assumption that all Thailand is good for is bar girls and bars.
So they do have that assumption. Well, it depends where you are. In a place like this, it's fair to assume that is what this place is about, because it is.
Yeah, of course.
But you know, obviously other parts of Thailand are not like that.
Yeah.
They're a lot more chilled and more relaxed.
Well, I have to say most parts of Thailand I've been to are not like this. This is particularly unique, I think, here and, you know, Nana in Bangkok. I didn't get that vibe in Phuket at all.
No, Phuket's it's different. Well, you know, that's got its own issues now, hasn't it? It's the overcrowding, the traffic's absolutely diabolical. Yeah.
And what about outside of Thailand, Southeast Asia? Is there some favourite places of yours that you could recommend? I know you're partial to Malaysia.
Yeah, no, Malaysia's nice, but that would be a good place to live, I think, because it's safe. It's not a lot happening there, though. You know, it's pretty quiet. But you can go down to Johor Bahru. Nice. Langkawi's nice. Penang is exceptionally nice. And KL's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And it's different to Thailand. It's more mellow, I think.
Yes.
It's more relaxed, and the people are almost horizontal there, man. They're very relaxed.
Yes. Different religion and culture, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, it's all very Muslim orientated there, but they're really nice people. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then moving down to maybe parts of Indonesia, there's still places worth. Not sure about living there. It's good place, quite hard work, Indonesia at times. But there's places, you know, Lombok, Baguio. It's like beautiful places, Komodo Islands. Some well worth visiting place, and you can spend time there too. It's not, you know, you don't have to go for a week and spend months there.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
And I think there's a big difference too, is when you're coming here as a single guy compared to having a partner, whether that be a Thai partner or a Western partner. So
I think if you're single, wherever you are in the world, mate, you're going to have that isolation.
This is true. Very true.
Yeah, but you know, there's always people around. You just got to get out there and, you know, make contact with people, make friends, and just hang out with other people, isn't it?
Yeah, I felt, I have spent some time over here being single, but I felt more isolated in Australia actually than I do here being by myself. I think it's just because you have more of an inclination to go out and
it's more social here.
Yeah,
and it's cheaper here, man. You're not going out to the bars in Australia.
No.
On a regular basis. It's too expensive. The restaurants are expensive. Getting out to meet people is not so easy.
Yeah, and dating.
Haven't done that in Australia, so.
Imagine the cost of taking someone out. I mean, you know, I get all the stories about, you know, the girls over here taking you for a ride, but it would cost you hundreds of dollars to date someone in Australia.
Oh yeah, you want to go out for a nice meal? Yeah.
And I was at the point, I was single and earning very good money, but I could barely go out. I couldn't afford to go out to the pub.
Yeah, well, no.
Like seriously.
That's been for years. The pubs are expensive.
I took my son out for a beer and we had 1 or 2 beers and I was like $100 down.
Yeah.
And we didn't do do anything special. So it makes a big difference, doesn't it? I know we I bash on a little bit about the costs and all the rest of it, but I'm still here on a budget, so I have to watch my money for a couple of years, and yeah, live
within your means, sir.
Live within our means, and so should you guys. So yeah. If there was any advice you would give to an expat out there who's thinking about jacking up the West, selling up and getting the hell out, what would it be? Because you're far more experienced than me. You've been doing this for a long time.
Well, I think you've got to have an understanding of what you want to achieve when you're away. You know, are you going away for a month, for 6 months? Is it a permanent move? And you've really got to put your cash and the financials in place to do what you do. Don't just go out on a whim. Understand how much it is where you go and what it's going to cost.
Yeah.
And make sure you're not going to run out of cash, because then you're going to end up with your tail between your legs, broke, having to go back to work and some cruddy job, and build it all again. It's just being sensible and understanding your finances.
Yes, I agree with you, and I almost feel like I kind of pushed the limit myself. I didn't quite have enough savings. I didn't have as much savings as I wanted as a backup. Let's put it that way, to get me between now and 60. Now, of course, when I hit 60, I have my super. I'll have plenty of money. Money will not be an issue. I'll have passive income, but it was, that period between now and then. But I also found an opportunity for me to take and just take the leap. But no, that's very good advice. Get your finances in place.
You just understand them and understand how much you're going to be spending, and have a good understanding. And if you put a budget in there, you've got to stick to it, man. It's that, and there will always be unforeseen expenses.
Yes.
So and they're going to come out and hit you when you don't want it.
And there's also a big difference between the nomad life and being established. And I know when I'm up in this own country, in the cabin up there, I don't spend any money at all. We're just buying food and chilling. I get bored. Definitely get bored sometimes, but for the most part I'm working. But when I'm doing the tours and traveling to these locations, I'm definitely spending a lot more. Probably 35% more at least.
And 34% of that is beer?
25%. It gets up there. But remember, if you're you are being more social, and it's hard. Like, where else are you going to go to be social besides the bar here?
Restaurants,
restaurants.
Where you're going to be spending money, for sure.
Yeah, and it's not always about the beer, guys. It's not always about drinking, and I know a lot of you don't drink out there, and you can do it without that. In fact, one of your friends, you're catching up, doesn't drink at all. He's been here for years, but I do know it just adds up. And also, if you've got a girlfriend out here, they're not free either. Nothing's free.
No, nothing is free in life, that's for sure.
No woman's free.
No, nothing's free, dude.
Right.
Even the air soon.
Sure.
We'll be charging you for that.
No, we're paying for it already, don't worry.
Yeah, true, carbon tax.
Yeah. And and again, going back to this business about the Thai, having a Thai girl that's going to stitch you up. I think you can fall into the trap of listening to all these worst case scenarios, but I've met so many expats who are in awesome relationships, and sure, they're supporting their girlfriend or their wives just like you would be at home.
Yep.
But the reality is this is a fact that it's a lot cheaper to support a partner out here than it is back in Australia.
Oh yes, well, everything's a lot cheaper here than Australia, dude. Irrelevant of what it is, Australia's pretty expensive.
So where to now, Paul? What is your plan? You are here. Paul is definitely on a nomad journey, and
I'm not sure. I'm thinking one possibility is Maldives, Europe, Caribbean. Take the boat to the Caribbean.
Yep.
That's obviously going to take a while.
Yeah.
Don't want to go anywhere fast on a boat.
Well, you let us know when you get there, and Aussie Nomad life will be out there in a flash.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be out in a flash, mate.
I'll be on the first plane. But sailing out there, you've got to, I think you really have to have balls of steel, guys, to live a, you know.
It's not for everyone, that's for sure, and it's not all fun and games. There's some, highly stressful moments.
Yes, and it's definitely not for everyone. I think that boating life is not. It's not easy. You've got to have a thick skin, definitely. And I'm sure a lot of you out there are mariners and understand what it takes to do that. I think you're. I think it's commendable to be able to do what you're doing.
Yeah, it's just one day at a time. You just got to keep plodding through it.
Yeah.
Shit breaks all the time. That's you got to keep fixing stuff, and that's the way it is.
It's expensive, isn't it?
It can be expensive, yeah. You've got to keep on top of that.
Well, thanks for talking to us, Paul. It's Paul's last night here. I'm here for another week. We are in Jomtien, and Paul's back to Malaysia. Then I'll catch you. I hope
I'll see you when I see you.
Well, no, I plan to get down to Malaysia and put Paul to the test for the Aussie Nomad life and see what it's like down there. See what it's all about.
See Langkawi.
Yeah,
Langkawi's good.
But I'll be going to Australia while you're doing your little trip as well. So I've got to go to Australia, and we will catch Paul definitely in the next couple of months. Thanks for chatting again, Paul, and we'll see you on the next one.
No worries. Cheers, sir.
Cheers, buddy. You guys take care, and thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.